Yesterday, something rather mysterious happened. Something ruddy mysterious. Something that I cannot explain. And something I don't suppose I'll be getting an answer to. It all started with Johnny, Boaty and I having a lovely leisurely lunch in the caravan. That's the caravan, and this is where we sat. It's where we always sit. We had a jolly good time. We ate food from Istanbul. We told stories. We made up stories. We held the hedgehog of truth. And then came the point where Johnny and I were super gasping for a cup of tea. So off we went to the lockup. And that's where I discovered I had no keys. I had no keys to the lockup. They'd fallen out of my pocket. That's not a mystery, is it? But what came next definitely was a mystery. The keys had to be in the yard somewhere. Even so, that didn't stop me from calling Istanbul to check they hadn't been dropped on the floor. Even though I knew they hadn't. And they hadn't. Because they hadn't. Checking the yard over and over again, looking for the keys. Here to there. In all of this greenery here and the rotten carpet and the other bits, we couldn't find them. We turned the caravan inside out. Not actually inside out, but lifting every cushion, looking in every nook and cranny available. I looked in the car that we went to Istanbul in, under the seat, down by the side of the seat, about 4 times. And Johnny did it about 4 times. And Boaty did it about 4 times. As we just finished lunch, I chucked a bag of rubbish into the skip. And then I climbed into the skip to retrieve that bag, to rip it open, to find that the keys weren't there either. Every single bit of discarded carpet on the floor was turned over in hope that the 3 shiny little keys would suddenly be under one of them. Then more pulling out of weeds and looking under there, looking underneath the caravan, going back in the caravan to have yet another check. And no, nothing. Eventually the desire for a cup of tea, the need to quench our thirst became so great that we had to get someone from next door to get the padlock off. Because only inside the lockup of dreams was where all of the car keys happened to be held, just at one point, just at that point, in this box. Without breaking in, I wouldn't have even been able to go home in my car. I would have had to have walked. We searched every bit of the yard over and over again, and then we searched every bit of the yard over and over again. We searched every bit of the yard over and over again. And then after that we searched every bit of the yard over and over again. Eventually we did the sensible thing and give up. I then employed Adam's special brush, a 300-pound brush, because it's full of magnets under the bottom. Dragged it around the yard in the grass and stuff. Thought it's going to show up there surely. Has to be there, but no, nothing. It was then I noticed the caravan door was open, much unlike what it is now, because it was just closed then. I walked in, I thought I'll have another look in here, and the first thing I saw was this. We'd checked this table about 10 times last night. I'd moved this hedgehog so many times, but for some reason the keys were right there, just like that. That's unusual, isn't it? The hedgehog of truth was lying to us about the keys. Ow! It's a ruddy, mysterious situation for him just to reappear like that. But Boaty thinks he has the answer, and the keys were simply moved as a punishment. Not by him, not by Johnny. removed from my possession by somebody above. Somebody a bit grumpy. He didn't look at all comfortable on your head. Frankly, you have no one to blame but yourself, and deep down I suspect you know that. The other very real alternative is that the FSM spotted your clear lack of sincerity and decided to teach you a lesson, and reached down with his noodly appendage to pinch the keys for 18 hours to teach you a lesson in humility. He's like that. He's a surprisingly spiteful deity. It's a mystery, that's for sure. But there's no excuse for thinking up things like that. That's just ridiculous. Sorry, mate.